What's up guys, my name is Jake Merkier, aka Andy Sandberg, and in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 strategic steps that you must follow when you're in your early credit card game. I have experience with 5 credit cards over the past 5 years, and let me tell you, I've learned a lot of stuff. Ever since the Chase Sapphire Reserve gained huge popularity in 2016, I have been so hooked into the credit card game, as well as so many other people, making this a very big community. Luckily for you, there isn't much to get started. The only thing that you need to do is, well, start. Most people actually can't get over this phase because they're too scared of credit cards, they're scared of the credit card debt, and all the things that they grew up from what they've been told about credit cards, so they just shy away from ever getting one. If you respect the game, it'll respect you, and the game works exactly like this. You're gonna get a credit card to learn it, master paying it off on time and in full, continue doing that, build your credit and getting used to the credit card. Then you can apply for a new credit card, get hundreds of thousands of points from sign-up bonuses, and then you're gonna be flying for free and getting those free hotels that everyone's talking about online. This is the exact step to get you started. Anyone can do this. For your first credit card, I recommend one of 3 options. First one is a student credit card if you're in high school or college. Another one is an authorized user credit card that you can get if you have a parent with good credit or someone else you know with good credit that's willing to put you as an authorized user. My first credit card was the State Farm card, and it was a pretty worthless credit card. But let me tell you, I learned a lot of core strengths and benefits when it comes to learning your credit card, how to pay it off, and I would use these skills for the rest of my life. Let me tell you, it doesn't necessarily matter which credit card you pick. You have to just pick one. Make sure it has no annual fee. There's some predatory credit cards out there from companies like Credit One and some other companies that'll send you mailers in the mail, and they'll have you just try to sign up, and they'll charge you sneaky fees or like a $39 fee for no reason, even though they only have like 1x back and no other benefits. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you pick one, and let's get into step 2. After you pick a credit card, step 2 is to just start practicing. Start charging expenses to it, save some cash so you can pay it off in full, get auto pay figured out, learn just how the entire game works. When I was first starting out with my State Farm card, I didn't even get the first card signed up. I got it in the mail, and then I just left it unactivated. I was honestly just a bit nervous to use a credit card and start putting charges on it. Over time, I slowly put gas, groceries, some of my other regular expenses on there, and I started to feel a little bit more comfortable. I would highly recommend just starting slow, transition from using your debit card for random purchases that you're gonna make, and then eventually keep adding more and more. By the time you're done with this step, you should be completely comfortable charging all of your purchases to your credit card. We are gonna be completely done with our debit card at this point. Like all credit cards, you gotta pay it off in full and on time at the end of the month. This is critical that you pay your credit card off in time, because if you don't, then the entire credit card game is just not worth it at all. You're not gonna be making any positive value from the credit card game, since you're gonna be paying a lot of interest fees that kind of take away from the benefits. And if you're like me and everyone else in the credit card game, we wanna get some more benefits. So that first card that you got is not really gonna be good after you've learned how to use it. So with step 3, we're gonna go ahead and get another credit card. After a year of practice, I actually applied for the Discover It card, the non-secured and non-student version, just to get everything started on my cash back. But for step 3, I actually recommend you get a Chase Freedom card. It could be the Chase Freedom Flex or the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I would highly recommend you get one of those. This will serve a similar purpose to the Discover It card, but it has a lot more longevity, since you could use the Chase Freedom Flex and Chase Freedom Unlimited with other cards that I'll talk about a little bit later. You might know what I'm gonna talk about, but they're way worth it. Now that you have a credit score over 670 from paying your card off in full on time each month, we are gonna have no problems getting approved for the Chase Freedom cards, as they only require a 670. Using the Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Freedom Unlimited will help you gain Chase Ultimate Rewards points, one of the most common point currencies in the entire credit card game. This point currency can be used for things like travel, cash back, or even gift cards. And as an experienced credit card user, I wouldn't really recommend getting gift cards. There's plenty of options out there that'll help you get some value without using gift cards. Both the Chase Freedom Unlimited and Chase Freedom Flex will get $200 on their sign-up bonus, which is a great way to get some extra points. They both generate 5x back on Chase travel, 3x back on dining and drugstores, and a few more other benefits. The main differences here is that the Chase Freedom Flex gets 5x back on rotating quarterly categories, while the Chase Freedom Unlimited gets 1.5% back on everything. The Chase Freedom Flex only gets 1x back on everything, so that's the difference. When I was in my early credit card game, I used my Discover It to get 5% cash back on rotating quarterly categories, as well as a cashback match sign-up bonus that matched all of the cashback I earned my first year. I would go ahead and cash this in for statement credit, which is a great way to learn how redemption redemptions work, and we don't necessarily need to get some crazy redemptions quite yet, just learn how it all works. Many people are totally comfortable with actually just staying at the cashback phase, which is totally fine. One important thing about the game is that credit card count actually doesn't matter. You can have as many credit cards as you want. It doesn't necessarily negatively affect your score for having more credit cards. This is actually more important than you think, because if you had more credit cards, your entire average age was also age, helping your credit score boost, as well as increasing the limit of your credit utilization. So if you have more credit, you're gonna be utilizing a less amount of that credit, which is gonna lower your score. Actually, it's gonna raise your score. So practice makes perfect, guys. Get used to everything in this step, and then when you're feeling ready, we're gonna go to step 4, which is getting our very first annual fee credit card. It's time to get the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I'm building you a Chase Trifecta if you haven't figured out. This is one of the best early game strategies, as this is an excellent trifecta that has been proven for many years, and it's an easy $95 per year, so you don't have to pay any extra complicated fees or anything for it. Trust me, the $95 for the Chase Sapphire Preferred is gonna be well worth it. When I first got my Chase Sapphire Preferred, I didn't even have any Freedom cards. I just jumped the gun and got Chase Sapphire Preferred a little early, and that was a mistake that I made. So I would recommend getting a Chase Freedom Unlimited or Chase Freedom Flex before. I was tempted to use the card for its high sign-up bonus, so I found ways to spend extra money on things that I wouldn't have bought anyway, which is a very important lesson to learn. I was doing this for the 60,000 Ultimate Rewards points sign-up bonus that you should just only get if you could actually spend $4,000 in 3 months on your regular spending. Just track your normal spending and see if you can spend $4,000 in 3 months. Don't just go ahead and spend it on whatever to hit the point bonus for no reason. Let's say you have one Freedom card already and you're thinking about getting the Chase Sapphire Preferred. If you can't hit that $4,000 minimum spend for the bonus, maybe you can go ahead and get the other Chase Freedom card first. Just get some more time under your belt. Then you can go ahead and get the Sapphire Preferred for a later bonus if you have like a big upcoming purchase, or maybe your spending is increased. The Chase Trifecta is gonna allow us to utilize all of our transfer partners with Chase, get 1.25x per point across the entire board. Plus, you're gonna get some nice sign-up bonuses and some travel protections with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Freedom cards will serve as your main workhorse card, while the Chase Sapphire Preferred will serve as your transfer partners card, your travel, and your dining card. Pretty much the Chase Freedom Unlimited will be used for everything, and the Chase Freedom Flex for rotating categories. And then we're going to transfer those points to the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Like I said earlier, the Chase Sapphire Preferred will boost the points by 25%. So any point that you earn on the Freedom cards can be transferred to the Chase Sapphire Preferred and get a 25% instant boost. So if you generate 10,000 points on the Chase Freedom Unlimited and transfer it over to the Sapphire Preferred, that's $100 worth of points. It's gonna be converted to $125 worth of points, and that's kind of nice. Here in the credit card game, we like to refer to this calculation as the cent per point calculation. It's very important to know. This is essentially how much each point is worth. This trifecta will allow you to earn points on all the cards and then allow you to transfer the points out from the Chase Sapphire Preferred to the transfer partners to get a higher than 2 cents per point in value or even more. And this is something only the Chase Sapphire Preferred can do, so that's why we're getting this card. This is exactly how us travel enthusiasts book first-class flights all the way across the world for like 75,000 points. Now that we understand the game, we need to understand the rules, because the game is only as good as the rules are, and these rules might not want to be broken. Step 5, we got to understand what 524 means. Since we got you guys set up in the Chase ecosystem, which I do believe to be one of the best starter ecosystems, it would help to understand what some of these rules are with the Chase ecosystem. 524 is the infamous most common rule that everyone knows about Chase. In order to be approved for any Chase card subject to 524, you cannot have opened 5 or more personal cards across all banks in the last 24 months. So this means if you're at 524 and you go ahead and get one more Chase card, you're gonna be instantly denied, since you're already at 5 cards and you've had them for 24 months. So if you're following this early game strategy, you would have accumulated 3 credit cards and possibly 4 if you got both Freedom cards. So that means if you were to get one more card, that would be the last card you would actually be able to get for the next 24 months until that very first card that you got drops off. We need to manage this very strategically, because there are lots of perks to being under 524, especially if a really good Chase card comes up and we're like, oh my God, we got to get that card. The sign-up bonus is really good. Well, you got to be under 524 to do that. Also, when we're under 524, we mostly want to apply for just Chase cards, as we can get Amex and Capital One cards when we're over 524 later. I'm at 424, but soon to be dropping back down to 324. So if you want to see how I'm going to be managing my cards for my mid-game strategy, which I'm in the mid game, not the early game, you can watch this video right here. It's gonna show you all about the mid game. You're gonna learn exactly what to do after this point, like get the Capital and Venture X and maybe some other cards. I would highly recommend you watch it. Have a good day, take it easy, bye.